about the Eddie Brooks stage reading.
Eddie Brooks, handsome Eddie. I got word that Eddie Brooks was in Tupelo, Mississippi. And so I drove up to Tupelo. Eddie Brooks was a 17-year-old high school student, a student member of the Friends of SNCC, the organization I told you about. And he volunteered to come to West Point, Mississippi as a SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinated Committee, field organizer. And he taught in the Freedom School. We had Freedom Schools, which was the first time in our history of the civil rights movement that Black people learn about who we are. We didn't have that before. And so Eddie Brooks worked out on what we call, you would call it a suburb, but it's a little community outside of town. We had 5 different communities where civil rights workers were stationed in all of the freedom houses, and he was managing one of the freedom houses. And so Eddie Brooks he canvassed, he knocked on doors. As a matter of fact, it was Eddie Brooks that the young men started to, he talks about in his interview how he got connected to the community. He said at first when they got there, they didn't necessarily have a base because they was commuting from different towns trying to find a place to stay. My uncle, Uncle Luke Disview, had a building. It was up the street from us, so he leased the building to we call them the freedom workers. There was 17 of them that year. We didn't have telephones back then. And so Eddie Brooks and all of these other people, John Buffington, Ralph Featherstone, and there were kids from Yale. It was a real diverse group of young people that came into the South to register Black people to vote and to draw attention to the poverty in Mississippi. And so Eddie Brooks was very instrumental in galvanizing the young men that was close to his age and under. As a matter of fact, one night we were out in the county and we were coming back, and we were all hitchhiking or riding with different people. And Eddie Brooks didn't get in the car with these 2 people. We all of us said, no, we're gonna go another way. Well, these 2 people was found dead the next morning in a little ditch of water about so. I would never forget that. My collection at Mississippi Southern University, one of the cassettes, the audio cassettes there, is Roger McFarland's mother talking about the day she got the news that her son, he was 17 years old, had been killed. So when we go to jail, we all singing, "We Shall Overcome." Now mind you, that our parents didn't know we was with the civil rights movement. And so we all got locked up. And we were singing, and the police officers were snatching off the signs and going around. If you notice, if you see pictures of the 60s, we didn't have signs with sticks because they could beat you with the sticks. And so as they snatched off Mike Roos' sign, the police fell dead right there in the jail. Well, I never forget this. My husband, John Buffington, was the project lead. He too was a field organizer for SNCC. Got on the phone and borrowed a phone somewhere and called Washington, D.C. And we got Congressman Roos on the phone. We talking the 60s. He was from Wisconsin. And he flew down to Memphis, Tennessee, and about 150 miles from West Point, Mississippi, and got us out of jail. And he told his son, he said, "Son, Mike, you can stay here the rest of the summer, but I don't want you involved in any more demonstrations."
This is a white guy.
This is a white guy.
Yeah.
And so it was a trying time for Black people to have, especially these white people coming in to work, because they'd never seen that before. They call them outside agitators. And it was just horrible. Then my husband ran for mayor in 1968, I believe. First Black that ran for mayor since Reconstruction. One day, one of his workers was parked in his car at a store, and his wife was in the store. Miss Cora was in the store shopping. And this white man walked up and shot Mr. Thomas' brains out 5 times, walked away free. Mr. Thomas died, leaving 11 children. Wife just died last year. And so John raised money and built, they didn't have a home or running water. So the community in the Ford Foundation, we used to get money from the Ford Foundation, funded and rebuilt them a house out in the country where they lived. But it was some difficult times and some scary times Huh?
I said Eddie Brooks.
And Eddie Brooks. So Eddie Brooks just stayed in West Point. Must have stayed there 4 or 5 years. Then he went back to Chicago.
He's
And,
in Tupelo now.
He's
isn't
in,
he?
I think he's
He's
still
in
in
Tupelo.
Tupelo.
He's
I
in
need
Tupelo,
to find
Mississippi
him.
now.
And what I want to do is bring these people in by Zoom when I'm doing these programs, so that y'all can see that these are real people.
These must be trying times for the people who have witnessed. So, so who's gonna do the Eddie Brooks reading on stage during the events?
I play Eddie Brooks. I do I did the stage reading of Eddie Brooks. She is herself. Eventually, we're going to turn the Eddie Brooks stage reading into an actual theatrical production. I have a deep background in theater lighting and theater in general, so we're going to turn that into a full-fledged production in the future.
Okay, that's great. And are his words gonna be read from his original journal? His words are gonna be read from the original journal.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. Now let's jump right into the scholarship. Tell us about the scholarship, Terry, and what does it set out to achieve?
It sets out to achieve a support of a student that will go to school through a 4-year program and earn a bachelor's degree in cultural anthropology to a black student at the University of Washington on the Pullman campus. That is where we are based. Ideally, what we want to do is award a hefty scholarship. We're still in the process of raising funds for it. And it would be lovely if we could take the foundation that Dr. Ferris thinks it should be on campus, and we in communication to put the housing there where it allows everybody. They've never had a black foundation, and so that's what I'm working toward now. And then we would take whatever monies that we raised and whatever the fee is to go to school at the university, we'll make sure that that student has books, whatever you need to graduate. So that's what the foundation is about.
And eventually, an endowment.
Eventually, we want an endowment, Terry Buffington endowment.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm working on.
Beautiful, beautiful. And why is it important for people of color to enter the anthropology field?
Because it's about the preservation of our culture. We don't teach it. It's not in the history books. The only thing you hear about people of color is negative things. And we have a beautiful history, and those stories must be told. And that's why it's so important for me.
It's important because it's not even told in black households.
That's true.
Right? So it's not even told in our own community. So there needs to be an instrument, a tool, a way for people to get this information. And that's what the Terry Buffington Foundation and the Terry Buffington Production Company aims to achieve.
One of the things that we want to do is go into the public school system and do a workshop on the Terry Buffington papers in the elevator, and then do quizzes, have children to write, have the students to write a paper about what they learned or what they saw, a review of the film. We're working toward working with the Pullman School District to do that. That's how you have to, education is the key.
We're working on a curriculum.
A curriculum.
But these things take time, but that's what we're working on.
Education is the key to a better America.
Now, talking about education is the key into making like a better America. What are the requirements for a student to be qualified for the scholarship?
The student must come in with at least a C average, at least a C point grade average. It must apply. They have to write a paragraph, some kind of description of why they want to be an anthropologist, what they plan to do once they become an anthropologist. Are they going to pursue an advanced degree? And it is important that they come in knowing something about American history, because American history fits nicely into anthropology, because a lot of this stuff is drawn from historical data as what happened to people of color. And I want to see more things, more inclusion in the anthropology books about people of color, and not just about Native Americans.
Yes. Thank you very much, Terry and Kwasi Buffington, for having to make the drive all the way from Pullman to our Vancouver campus here. It was nice having you. So Norman and I are delighted to have you here today.
It was a pleasure for
Thank
being
you.
here.
It's a
Thank you
pleasure for
us.
having us and for the lunch.
We enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
it's enjoyed. And what, I know that we're done, but one of the things that I want to leave here today with, we want to bring our work to your campus, and that's where you all come in at. And so I'm hoping that we can work together, we can partner together and bring your program, especially during Black History Month, bring original work, first resource, primary resources to your campus, because it's history, it's American history. And it ain't just Black people history, it's we Americans, it's our history.
Yep.
And that's how we try. I never call it a Black History program, I call them culture programs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is something that happened in the United States and everybody is involved. You know, be it white, be it black, be it brown. I mean, we all experienced it. And, you know, and it's sad to say that some of these things are still happening in the United States and it's affecting us all. Be it an immigrant, I'm an immigrant, I came here, but then everything is affecting us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, yes,
Be it
yes.
politics, education.
And just having, even just us getting together, having this interview, even if we didn't have the interview, just us talking and meeting together is a step forward,
Exactly.
you know, and that's what our work is about.
Yeah, and you know, I told one of my Native American friends, this is the first time in my adult life that I've had a relationship with Native Americans, because the way the country has got us all scattered about. I don't know nothing about my other brown sisters, so I'm trying to learn the language. It's important, and that's what anthropology is about.
We're also connecting with the Lapway tribe in Lewiston, Idaho, and they're the indigenous Black Indians. And so we went to a Juneteenth event that they had in Lewiston, and Kayla, I can't remember her, Michaela Thompson is the organizer of it, and she's based in Seattle. She got a fellowship, DC, but they're having the foundation is based in Seattle, and they're having a fundraiser, or I'd say more of a celebration to celebrate her fellowship that she got. And she's doing a lot of good things with Black Indians and Black people in the state of Washington, and probably farther than that, because she's in New York also. And so we're going to partnership with her too. And we're doing a lot of things are kind of in the works, but getting out to campuses like this and spreading our message, and you know, and like she said, let's try to have this conversation, continue it, and we'll be happy to come back and speak or something for MLK Day in January, for Black History in February.
And Michaela is a graduate of Lewiston College.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you guys.
Thank you all.
We're so delighted to have this done. Thank you very much for coming here. So Norman, do you have anything to say?
All I have to say is, do you two have anything left to say?
No, I think that was
That covers it?
That was it. I want to get a picture of
Yes.
Yes.
all of you four
Yeah.
together.
Are we on?
Yeah.